Sawadee krap, I'm JP Mestanza, and today is Tuesday, July 9th. You're watching Phuket Xtra, brought to you by pbcphuket.com. Days after a committee tasked with controlling illegal drugs in Thailand won a majority vote to have cannabis and hemp reclassified as narcotics, cannabis advocates protested outside the government house in Bangkok, demanding that studies be done to assess the impacts of the plant before they relist it as a narcotic.
Last Friday, the Public Health Ministry's Committee Controlling Illegal Drugs voted to support the reclassification of cannabis as a narcotic, with the exception of their branches, leaves, roots, and seeds. In a statement following the vote result, Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Surachok Tangwiwat, stated, quote, "All related laws should be amended before January 1st. That is the time frame that we are expecting for this law to take effect." However, this committee includes no lawmakers, though their vote is weighed heavily when it comes to the Office of the Narcotics Control Board, an agency under the Ministry of Justice that works independently. They meet next week to consider this vote. If they come to the same conclusion, then the proposal will go to the Food and Drug Administration, who will then amend any cannabis-related laws and set up criteria for how the plants can be used. Critics of the move say that the proposal to reclassify cannabis and hemp as narcotics is merely to protect the interest of major players who stand to benefit from making cannabis a narcotic once again, and not to protect the well-being of the populace. The solution, proposed by the Secretary General of the Writing Thai Cannabis's Future Group, Prasichai Nunual, a group which held a protest near the government house on Monday, is to simply study the effects. In fact, he says that the Ministry of Public Health and other agencies in Thailand should simply study the effects that cannabis has on physical health, mental health, and its therapeutic effects, then use those results and compare them to tobacco and alcohol, which are easily available nationwide. He proposed that if the findings show that the impacts of cannabis are no worse than tobacco and alcohol, then it should be regulated, just like tobacco and alcohol. If the studies suggest otherwise, then it should be put back on the narcotics list. There's also the issue of small-scale cannabis businesses nationwide who will be heavily affected by the government's failure to transform cannabis into a new cash crop in Thailand within just 2 years, as well as farmers, many of whom have no hope of recouping the investments made due to the chest pouting from the last administration, who touted cannabis as the way of the future for such farmers, only for the government to renege on the whole thing just 2 years later. Yesterday, according to the Bangkok Post, protesters threatened to expose alleged ties between influential financial groups and politicians, particularly those in the ruling Pheu Thai party leadership. For more, visit thephuket.com.
Police are searching for the perpetrator who threw a bottle at a woman who was driving a motorbike in Wichit on Sunday night, as the assault left her with a head wound that required hospitalization.
The incident took place shortly before 10:30 p.m. on Sunday on Wichit Songkram Road in Wichit. Kusodam Foundation emergency responders arrived to find the injured woman bleeding profusely from her head. She was rushed to Vashita Phuket Hospital for treatment. The woman's boyfriend, a 26-year-old, told authorities that they were on separate motorbikes on their way to Phuket town. He was ahead of her when he heard a loud bang from behind and turned to see his girlfriend in distress and initially thought that she had been shot. The woman had been hit by a bottle thrown at her, but couldn't identify the assailant. Following the initial investigation, authorities discovered that the glass bottle likely originated from one of the bars by the side of the road. Katu police say further investigations are underway to determine the motive and identify the perpetrator. For more, visit thephuket.com.
Just before you break a bone.
Two brothers with a history of mental illness are now in protective custody after one of them stepped into a neighbor's house several times carrying what looked like a machete and other knives over the last couple weeks, according to police.
A CCTV clip of the man walking through a neighboring home in the Sapam Ruam 1 community in Anupas Phuket Kon Road in Phuket town carrying a machete, it made its way onto social media. One of the videos was recorded on Monday morning and shows the man, described as thin and erratic, seen in the video posted online wandering around with what appeared to be sharp implements in both hands. In other clips recorded the night of July 2nd, he walks past carrying a machete. The man is seen shouting and making loud noises. Local residents on Monday voiced their fears and frustrations and urge authorities to address the situation more effectively before it results in serious harm. On Monday afternoon, Phuket City police officers apprehended two brothers, a 30-year-old and a 33-year-old, both of whom were exhibiting signs of severe mental instability and causing disturbances within the village, according to authorities. Their mother later arrived to talk with police at the station, and she confirmed that they had a history of mental issues and had previously received psychiatric treatment at a hospital in Suratani province. Officials are now coordinating with medical professionals to ensure the brothers receive the necessary treatment. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
The search is on for a Thai national wanted for an attack on an Indian tourist with a knife at a hotel, which left the tourist with a head wound.
The incident took place at about 11 p.m. on Sunday night, according to police, as the 37-year-old victim, a tourist of Indian nationality, met with officers with a small knife wound to his scalp. Police say that the victim was waiting for his relatives by the open door on the 4th floor of their room at an undisclosed hotel. He saw an unidentified Thai man walking down the hallway towards him, smoking as he walked. The suspect attempted to speak with the victim, but did not respond as he doesn't speak English. Then, after passing him about 4 to 5 meters away, the suspect turned around and then kicked the victim in the face. He fell to the floor, and the suspect then drew a knife and tried to stab the victim, but the victim moved and the knife cut his scalp instead. The suspect then fled as the victim's relatives came to his aid. A formal report was filed and Patong police are now investigating. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
Thanks for joining us here today on Phuket Xtra, brought to you by pdcphuket.com. We'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000 and luxury properties can go all the way up to $20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.